is my journey of how I got diagnosed with panic disorder. It started around 2019 in August, so just before COVID happened. I got the stomach bug from my sister, and turns out that stomach bug was going to change my life. In short, even though I started to feel better after the stomach bug, I still thought something was wrong with me because I was still having upset stomach, pins and needles, trouble sleeping. So for the remainder of August, I was not eating properly because I thought my stomach was still not 100%, and I lost a pretty good amount of weight. So my mom finally took me to my doctor, and he said, "There's nothing wrong with you, it's most likely anxiety." And this was new territory for us because we only knew my grandmother who has anxiety. So we were recommended to a therapist, but unfortunately I could not see that therapist until October. So for those couple of months, there were some good days, but mainly it was starting to get worse because I was losing sleep, and that is a factor to making your anxiety worse, is the amount of sleep you lose, basically. And that was a problem because I was starting to have more panic attacks, to the point of nocturnal panic attacks, which made me terrified of sleeping, and I was terrified of being alone, so it was hard for me to be by myself or leave my house. Thankfully, we saw the therapist in October, and I showed him this paper of every symptom, every thought that I was having during that gap, and he was very impressed with what I wrote. So after reading it, he was easily like, "Yep, sounds like you have panic disorder." We had no idea what that was, and my mom was like, "Is that some form of anxiety, like generalized anxiety?" And he said, "No, there is a difference. Panic disorder, it is shorter but more intense and a bit more random when it comes to triggers." So one of the things that really made me feel like, oh, this has to be true, was he looked at me and asked, "When you have these attacks, does it feel like you're dying? Like you think you're dying and you're afraid to die?" I started to burst down in tears because anytime I had those thoughts, I thought something was wrong with me. So he's like, "No, that is a symptom of panic disorder, is the fear of dying or thinking you're dying when there's nothing going on." And he explained how the panic attacks, they can happen with little to no trigger. Like I could just be washing the dishes and suddenly I just get intense symptoms of a panic attack. For me, it's the pins and needles, the weight on my chest, and I can't kid you not, when I get the intrusive thought that triggers my symptom, which is usually my fear of death, it's a wave, a literally body scan of this terror. Like I cannot explain it. And recently it's been getting a little worse just because I haven't been sleeping well. Anytime I lay in bed and the fear of death just comes into my head for like a millisecond, I just feel that wave of terror wash over my body, and I have to remind myself, this is panic disorder, it's going to be over in like 10 minutes. And that is the key factor of a panic attack, is usually it varies of how long it lasts. For me, 10 minutes, especially when I know what to do and know it's a panic attack. And I wanted to make this video to spread awareness for panic disorder because not a lot of people know about it. When I told people I had it, I had to explain what it was or how it's different from general anxiety. And it was really rough. I could not start medication until November. I'm on the antidepressants, which is the lowest dose, and I've been on it ever since. I tried to do it on my own when I first got diagnosed, and I'm not critical of myself over that. I thought I could do it, and that's okay that I couldn't. Medication is important, and that medication has been very helpful. I haven't had as much panic attacks as I used to. So with panic disorder, what I've been doing, what I've learned as I adjusted to the medication, is taking the fear out of panic disorder. And it's all thanks to this person I read into. His name is Barry McDowell. I probably messed up the name, so I'm gonna put his name in the description. Basically, that is his teaching, is taking the fear out of panic disorder, because he himself dealt with anxiety for years and finally came up with this strategy. Basically, when you have that panic attack, take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long the attack lasts, and sit through it as if you are in the ocean and its waves. Like, it looks scary, but you can get through it, and you'll find that, like, it's not the end of the world, even though your body is attacking you as if it was. And you can find more information on his works on Amazon. He has books, he has audiobooks, he has a activity book that I have. He has an app called the DARE app, and that's what his strategy is called, DARE, because it's an acronym of how to approach anxiety, panic disorder, panic attacks. So I highly recommend you look him up, because it really changed my perspective. Because recently, with my new health issues, my autoimmune disease, my poor blood works, I have to remind myself, like, about my panic disorder, because the health issues have been affecting my mental health. It's been affecting my panic disorder. Like, I had to remind myself, why am I feeling worse than lately? Oh, right, it's because I have panic disorder, and these health issues have been attacking that. So yes, please, if you know somebody with panic disorder, or you think you're going through something of panic disorder, just remember, it's a disorder. It's going to be okay, even though it feels like it's not. Take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, no matter how many times, no matter how many waves come in to attack you, it's going to end. There is an end. And you have to take the fear out of how many times this happens and just treat it as normal as possible.